Growth is a messy business. Is a process that takes time. By the third, the fourth, and the fifth day, I started seeing my plants looking robust. When you plant your seed in front of people and you show up with your seed, you're planting it. That is your first step in the planting process. The second step is the exposure. John the Baptist was the forerunner for a reason, to give Jesus the correct exposure. There are people in your life, there are people in your industry that are there to give you the correct exposure. Don't fight them, don't compete with them. When you want to gain visibility, when you want to move a seed from unknown to known, when you want to move a seed from sprout to tree, you need the correct exposure to light. Hello and welcome to the How platform. On this table, we learn, we grow, we become, and we win. The How platform is a channel that I set up to share about my reflection around the topic of growth, because if we don't plant, we don't have fruits. If we don't have fruits, we don't have food. If we don't have food, we can't survive and we can't grow. So humans will learn to plant, because in planting we bear fruit, and in planting we bear seed. And the seed that you have is good. Just like the story of the parable of the sower, the Bible made us understand that the sower went about with his own seed. The seed that you carry within you, the seed of your idea, of your thoughts, of your words, of your presence, of your vibe. The seed of God in you is good. Nothing is wrong with your seed. Something might be wrong with the strategy of how you're planting your seed, or where you are planting the seed, or where you are nurturing the seed. Nothing is wrong with your seed. I want you to know that the seed that you have is good. The seed of God in you is good. Because in the beginning, the Bible said, when God finished creating the creatures and the creation and the creators, because we humans are the creators. When God finished creating those three categories, God looked at what He created and said, this is good. You are a seed of God, and your seed is good too. Those ideas and those thoughts that comes into your mind, they are good. They're good. I don't want you to undermine the ideas that come into your mind, because ideas drive the world. The brands, the vibes, the services, the products that we are seeing now in your household, on the social media, the businesses and the companies that are thriving now are seed that started with a man, that started with somebody, one person, and that seed was planted correctly. So nothing is wrong with your seed. Nothing is wrong with your seed. In the last two videos, I've shared about the seed that you carry. In the last video, I emphasized the place of showing up with your seed. Because when you have a good seed and you're keeping it to yourself and you bury the seed inside a towel and you hide it, that seed will eventually lose its power to bear fruit. It's like having a mango seed in your hand and you decide to wrap it in a towel and bury it somewhere in your closet. What do you think will happen to that seed after a while? It will become moldy. At some point, it will be smelly. And at some point, the seed within the mango seed that's supposed to bear fruit will rot from the inside out. When you play small, you're self-sabotaging your own seed. You're rotting your own seed from the inside out. When we show up and we speak up and we think straight with the seed of idea, with the seed of idea coming through our thoughts, with the seed of confession of positive words that are coming through our communication, with the seed of our presence, when we plant those seeds in the right environment, there will be fruits when we follow strategy. And in this video, I want to share about strategy that makes seed grow. I want you to know that no one wake up with these templates. No one wake up and they already know how to plant. I found myself in that situation that your parents know how to plant and turn their idea into big business. If you are not taught how to transform that business, you might end up not being able to do things the way they do it. Because concept is different from life. And I want to be very practical in this video. I want to be very, very practical. So recently, I like talking to my parents. I would call my dad and we would speak. During the weekend, I would find time to call it. So I will call my dad and try to just check on him to see what he's doing. I mean, what we can do for our parents when we are adults is to honor them. So part of the way I honor my dad is to call him and check on him and sometimes chat, do long chats with him and just talk about random stuff. Sometimes we start from health to politics and just start random things. And then on this day, I called him and he was very excited. And he wanted to do FaceTime. So we switched to camera and he was able to see me. I was cooking and he was also doing stuff around the house. And he was so happy to show me what he was doing. And he wanted to talk to the grandkids. So I said, okay, come talk to your grandpa. And then the grandpa started showing the grandkids around the house, the things that he had planted, all the animals that he's rearing, and he was showing them all the growths in his environment that were happening based on the seed he was planting and the things that he's investing into, the animals he's been taking care of and how those are growing. He was so proud of himself and he was just happy to share the growth with the grandkids. And I kept hearing the grandkids say, oh no, oh grandpa, this is so nice. He showed them the plants, the guava plants, the palm tree in his compound. He showed them all the fruits that he has planted that's fully grown. And then he moved to the animals. He showed them the puppies. My dad loves dogs, so it's just the dog just had babies, and my dad was showing them all the puppies, and my kids were just drooling and blushing, and we're happy to see their grandpa doing all of this stuff. And then when the conversation was over, we all said our goodbyes, And then my kids turned to me and they said, Mom, Grandpa was able to plant all of this and have all these animals. He was able to do all this gardening. And you can't even keep one plant, Mom. The one you planted this summer didn't even survive. Oh my God. They kind of bruised my ego. I felt like, okay, now it's a competition between me and your grandpa. So this summer, guess what I did? You can't imagine what I did. I took it upon myself that I'm going to do gardening and I'm going to take it seriously. So I took it seriously. So I bought my pots and the soil that I wanted. Very good soil. I went to go and buy very quality soil from the store. And then went to go and buy good seeding and plants. I said, I'm going to take it seriously. So when you think of planting, what are the things that are necessary for planting? I mean, I won't say only my ego pushed me into that, but also I'm somebody that like the outdoor. Outside is where I think. When I want to think about something, I will just go to the woods. I will just be walking in with the trees and the nature. Nature is my happy place. So I thought to myself that if nature is your happy place, then you should show that in your investment. So I bought all these things, all the pots and the soil, and I wanted to plant. So after buying these pots, I Google how you can plant the seed and transplant the seed from the environment they have from when you purchase them into the pots. So pour the soil and press it down, add more water, press it down, plant, and make sure the soil covered the plant and the flower up onto a point. Press more soil into it, add more water, and press it down. And I didn't just leave it there. It's not just about planting and leaving it there. I also made sure I put my plants close to the window. Some of the plants, I put them outside so that they can get a lot of sunshine. Because when you expose plants to sunlight, that's where they get the photosynthesis, and that process is how they grow. Just like the way we humans get vitamin D from sunlight, plants also get some vitamins from sun. That helps them to generate the green that you see in the plants. So I exposed my plants. I gave it some exposure. I put it close to the window, the ones that are indoor. The ones that are outdoor, I put it in such a way that the sun is not eating them in such a way that it's burning the plants. It's giving it that freshness that it needed. So the plant is around the shade, but it's getting the sunlight exposure in a way that is not hurting the plants. I'm going somewhere. I want you to stay with me. I also consistently add water to my plants. Remember, this is a challenge between me and my kids' grandpa. I want to show them that I can plant. And I loved outdoor. So every day I would add water to it. And then the first 2 days, it looks like the plant was looking weaker, and I felt, oh my God, this is about to happen again. Because my plants and my seed was trying to adjust to the new environment. Growth is a messy business. Is a process that takes time. By the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th day, I started seeing my plants looking robust. I started seeing the seed shooting out. And by the 10 days to the 14 days, I started seeing some spring of tulips and leaves coming out. Because every day I will add water. Every day I will expose it to sunlight. Every day I will love on my plants. I will love on my seed. I was consistent. I was given it the needed exposure. I was adding the needed moisture, and I was creating the environments for my plant to grow. I want to pause there and I want you to think about yourself as the seed of God. When it comes to turning your idea and the seed in you into a productive service or good, into a valuable thing that can create satisfaction for others, those strategies that worked with the natural plants are also strategies that worked with our seed. Our seed needs exposure. Exposure of our seed matter. You know, when you are doing the gardening and the nurturing of your seed, you might start with a smaller pot. You might start small. It might start small. The seedling part might start small. But that it started small doesn't mean that it's not going to go bigger. When you continue to water it and expose it and consistently create an environment where that seed can be turned into fruit-bearing tree. You know, when I said stop playing small, I said start showing up. Start showing up. When you plant your seed in front of people and you show up with your seed, you're planting it. That is your first step in the planting process. The second step is the exposure. When you need visibility, you don't go into hiding. Going into hiding is a sign of insecurity. It's a sign that you are not passionate about the seed that you have. It's a sign that you don't want to be creative. Remember, in the beginning, God created the creatures, the creation, and the creators. And we are the creator. When you plant your idea and you don't expose it, you are limiting the potential in your idea. Exposure matters. And the correct exposure is very, very important. When you want to expose your seed, you don't place it in front of people that don't value it. It's like putting a pear on a pig. It will end up in the mud. It's like putting a diamond on a pig. It will end up in the mud. Regardless of the value of what you put on a pig, it will end up in the mud. An idea, a money-creating idea, a wealth-creating idea that is placed in front of the wrong audience is the waste of time, talent, and treasure. You want to plant your seed strategically in front of the right audience. And what do I mean by the right audience? The right audience will bring the right exposure. The right audience will make you gain the right experience. The right audience will give you the correct exposure that you need to take that seed from small to great. If you plant and you expose your seed in a certain environment and you are not seeing consistent growth, that doesn't mean it is the end. You want to give it time. Like I said, planting is a process. Becoming great is a process. Growth is a process. But give it time. Give it time. But how you plant and where you plant and whose heart you plant your idea is important. If you have an idea in your hand and you are putting it, let's say I'm into fashion products. I'm selling products that ladies and men who like to dress fashionably well would be interested in. And I have those products sitting in my closet and I'm just looking at them. How do you think I can make money out of that? But giving it exposure means I'm taking it out to the marketplace, the social media marketplace. I am sending messages to fashion stores who will be interested in putting my product on their shelves. I am sending DMs into models who can wear my product and bring it and expose it to their own audience. You want to give your seed exposure. Keeping yourself small is thinking that you can just be sharing your seed and your fruit in front of your small audience and go big and blow up. That is not how it works. That is not how it works. You want to plant your seed and give it the correct exposure. When Jesus is God, right? After for like 30 years that he was doing carpentry work with his father, he didn't have any visibility. But at the point when he was going to launch his ministry, do you remember what happened? In that book, when Jesus was going to launch his ministry, in that book of John, when Jesus was going to launch his ministry, so the book of John started with this man called John. And then we started reading about this man called Jesus appearing to John and coming to John to baptize him and give him the correct exposure. John the Baptist was the forerunner for a reason, to give Jesus the correct exposure. There are people in your life, there are people in your industry that are there to give you the correct exposure. Don't fight them. Don't compete with them. Some of you are competing with your mentors. You are not yet there. You are not at their level. Come down from your eye and learn from them. Jesus is God, yet he went under John the Baptist. When John the Baptist saw Jesus, he said, even the latch of your shoe, I can't take off. Why are you coming to me? Jesus said, for the prophecy to be fulfilled. There's a reason why people are in your life who are ahead of you. They are for the fulfillment of the prophecy and the greatness of God in your life. They are for the fulfillment of the promises of God for your life. Don't compete with them. And John the Baptist baptized Jesus. And when Jesus was coming out of that water, the Bible said a dove appeared and there was a voice from heaven saying, "This is my beloved, in whom I am well pleased." When you want to gain visibility, when you want to move a seed from unknown to known, when you want to move a seed from sprout to tree, you need the correct exposure to light. Exposure to light. In the first season on the Out platform, I covered the definition of clarity. I said clarity is a function of light. When your eyes is full of light, and is a function of your hearing, and when your ears are full of the truth. Who will listen to matter, and who will look up to matter. Exposure matter. Who is speaking about your products matter. The stage, the platform where they are sharing your service, where they are sharing about your brand and your products matter. Correct exposure matter. We connect and collaborate up. You want to start creating an intentional exposure for the seed of God in you. You want to be exposing it to the right audience. Connecting to the people. A lot of people are available to help. You will be shocked when you reach out to all these big brands and companies and ask them that, can you place my product on your eye? And they will tell you about their process, because they are looking for suppliers too. You will be shocked when you reach out and said, I have this ability to market product. Will you be willing to let me wear your product? You will be shocked at the number of people looking for random people taking pictures and sharing it on Pixel, sharing it on stock photos, sharing it on Pixabay for people to watch and view and use for their content. You will be shocked. Exposure matter. The water of exposure, start pouring it on your seed. Start pouring it on your seed. When you see events happening where you know that people of caliber, I think it's Joshua Selman that said, until you serve king, keep developing yourself. And I will add to it that even when you serve king, keep developing yourself, because you are serving the King of Kings. As Christians, when we are business owners and CEO and entrepreneurs, as Christians, when we are individuals doing great, we are not just individual or ordinary people. We are supernatural beings. We are extraordinary people, and we're stewards. Because we need those funds to fund God's agenda on earth. So don't keep it small. Don't just say, I am okay. I am comfortable with where I am. Expose it. Expose it. Because all these ones that you are doing and sewing and doing the designer for one person and doing the design of the clothes for one person, you want to start creating structure and systems that can allow you to scale your idea. The one person entrepreneur era is over. You want to collaborate your way up and scale up your idea in such a way that you are not using your 5 hours to create one item, but 1 hour that you are putting into it, you are creating 5,000, because you are creating a template. You have a structure in place that you are giving it to the people you have hired to do the job, and they can replicate it. That was the development template of China. You just need to have one sample and show it to 1,000 people, and they replicate it. And you generate this multiplicative effect. Africa needs to start thinking along that line. As a business owner, as an ideator, you need to start thinking of how to scale it through exposure. You read. That's part of exposure. You read wide. You follow people who are doing what you're doing. You follow the industry where you see yourself going. You follow the niche, the business line, the things that are people that are doing what you're doing, the water of exposure. I mean, I got so much passionate about that water of exposure. I don't want to forget that there are other ways that you add to your plan to make it grow. But that exposure piece, I'm going to just pack it on paper now, and I hope you're taking notes. I hope you're taking notes. If you have questions, please put it in the comments. And if you are enjoying this, please remember to hit the subscribe button so that you keep receiving and seeing our videos on your timeline. I would love to hear from you. The water of exposure is important for growth. The second thing that I'm going to mention around the strategy for planting and becoming fruitful is the water of your relationship. The water of your relationship. At some point, when I was adding a lot of water to my plants, I noticed that some bugs were coming around the plants, and I kind of thought to myself that what's bringing all these bugs? They look like mosquitoes, but they are not. Anyway, I got to find out when I spoke with another person who is into gardening. Oh, they told me, oh, those are nuts. I said, wow, I thought they were really nuts. They were annoying. And yeah, that's the name. They are nuts. And the fellow also told me that it's because you've been adding a lot of water to your plants. So that's attracting them, and they are coming to lay their eggs inside the soil. So they keep multiplying, and it doesn't take them too much time to become fruitful and grow. So sometimes you're planting, you're seeing your sprouts coming, and the weeds are coming too. The nuts are coming. Sometimes you're planting your ideas, and as they are growing, some distractions are coming too. Nuts. Because I was watching. I didn't know that too much water could lead into that. The way you water matter. And this fellow said you should stop watering for a few days or for a few weeks. So I stopped adding water to my plants. And I saw that those nuts started dying. In fact, my daughter told me that too much water on a plant can also limit the nutrients of that plant, the capacity of that plant, because it's like you're watering the nutrients that plant is drawing from the soil and all that. So she was kind of explaining to me in a very complicated way, but I kind of get it. And now I kind of get it, that when you add too much water to a plant, it can bring nuts, it can attract weeds, distraction can come. So how you water matter, and your relationship matter to the seed you're growing. We are planting our seed, our greatness, our idea, not on natural soil, not on the humus or clay soil or loamy soil. We are not planting it on the natural dirt. You're planting your idea in the heart of people. In the heart of people. So who like you matter. Who like your idea matter. Who is investing in your idea matter. Who is promoting your brand matter. Who is raising your hands up matter. Who is speaking for you matter. Who is speaking their voice and speaking on your behalf in that inner room matter. You want to expose your idea to the water of good and effective relationship. And I want you to underline those two words that I mentioned. Good and effective relationship. Because some relationships are just users. You're asking, what is user relationship? Users relationship are relationships that are taken out of you, but not giving anything in return back. Oh, you want me to be more specific? Users relationship are relationship that remembers to call you when they need you, but don't remember to say thank you when they get the help. Users are the ones that use the relationship for their own personal benefits, their own selfish benefits, and don't remember that relationship is a mutual investment. When you look at successful people invest in one another, in each other. They are given and they are taken. It's a give and take. A user relationship is a relationship where you are giving and you are not receiving. I am not saying that you should be in a relationship where you are always giving and be expecting people or to take from people. I'm not saying set that expectation, because there are levels in where we are in life, and there are times we have to pour into people. But be careful how you are pouring into people, how you are watering people to the point that you don't have anything left to water your own seed or your own life or your own idea, because you will give account of this one life that you have and how you have spent the talent and the gifts that God has given you. How will water matter? I will spend some time to talk about relationship, because the relationship aspect of watering your seed ties back to the soil. So when I want to talk about the type of soil, I will also speak more on that. But just like nuts and all these weeds, sometimes when we water and we expose our seed, this can come. So you want to invest in healthy and effective relationship. And one of the ways that I've seen that works for investing in healthy relationship, not even one of the ways, let me just give you 2 or 3 ways to invest in healthy and effective relationship. I want you to start with greeting, saying hi. You are in the elevator, you are meeting somebody for the first time. It's not even about looking at their shoes or how their perfume smell like to assess their net worth, because sometimes some high net worth people, they look random, they look casual. So don't use appearance to judge how people are. Don't make the mistake of Samuel. Don't make the mistake of Samuel. Greet people. Say hi. Don't be timid. Don't be shy. Say hi. If somebody does something, you like what they are doing, you like the way they are doing it, DM them. You don't know how much people value people appreciating them. Greet. Say hi. Hi. I saw your video. I really like the last video that you did. Hi. I saw you speak on this conference. I was so touched by your story. Hi, I like the way you motivate. Hi, I like your inspiration. You inspired me to do this. Say hi. Start with greeting people. The second thing I'm going to drop on the relationship is that showing gratitude. Be saying thank you. A lot of thank yous, and say it often. Say it quickly. Return back to say it. If you can't remember that you have said it, thank you, go back and say it again. And the third piece of the effective relationship of watering your seed is honor. The currency of honor. Go and look at people whom we call people who have enjoyed the favor of God and men in the Bible and on earth. Go check them out very well. There are people who show intense and great amount of honor to principle, to protocol, to process, and to people. The water of effective and healthy relationship cannot be overemphasized when it comes to turning your seed into great tree. When you see people who are in related industry like you, somebody who is ahead of you, sign up to work under them. Serve your way into greatness. The water of service. The water of service. Serve your way into greatness. Many of the things that I am doing now are things that I've done when nobody paid me to do them. Many of the things I am doing now that is creating income for me are things that I have done when nobody was paying me or even saying thank you. I share this and I'm just sharing it with you just to give you a sense of some of the things, and I'm just in all humility. When I was in college, so I studied economics in college, and I was asked to serve as the financial secretary of our college joint Christian mission. I served on that capacity, and I was responsible for making sure that offerings are reported and collected and reported with transparency, depositing them at the bank, and making sure that all the funds are spent for each of the mission projects that we have. Even as students then, as young as we are then, we had focus on how we wanted to spend the fund. And recently, my son was asking me that, have I spoken or have I been in close connection with Pastor Hiye Adeboye? So Pastor Hiye Adeboye is the general overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God. And I told him, yes, I have had a very close interaction with him. Because of that service, when I was the financial secretary, he came to visit our campus a couple of times. So he was on the altar, and I was going to be the one to collect the offering. I was young, I was a student, but because of service brought me and gave me exposure and connected me to a stage where I never thought I could be. And right now, some of the names that people will call me then, when we were in college, people will call you caption word. If you are like the coordinators of ladies in the fellowship, they call you mama. That's the way they call the people. I don't know, maybe that's the term that people use there. So for me, because I coordinate the pause, people will call me a World Bank. Sometimes they'll call me CBN, a Money Bank. They were calling me all those names. They didn't know they were prophesying. Because everything they spoke out became things that are part of my reality today. What I'm saying is that the water of service, your product that you have right now, serve it and donate it to people. Give it to people. Let them try it out. Tell people when they are having events, give them a sample of your products. Would you please be able to just wear this or just showcase this? I've been seeing a lot of those kind of things even on Instagram, where people will reach out and say, we would like you to wear our product and wear it in one of your videos and all that. They call it a paid marketing or something like that, or affiliated marketing. What I'm saying is that people are pushing their products out there. There's this store, I don't want to give their names now because I don't want to be doing brand promotion here. They would always send their free stuff to my teenagers. That is part of service. They are doing it free, but before you know it, they are selling you an experience that can turn you to a customer. The water of service. I want to also add, before I wrap up in this video, the water of prayer. The water of prayer. Paul sows the seed, Apollo waters, but it's God that brings the increase. Paul sows the seed, Apollo is the one that's pouring the water. Who is bringing the increase? God. If you don't receive sunlight, there won't be any plants. If we don't receive the grace of God, there won't be the grace for gaining visibility. And the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, the love of God, and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with us. Give us instruction. Give us direction. Give us precision. Give us perception. Give us perspective. And bring us in front of correct audience to gain the right exposure. I want to hear what you think in the comments. The final one I'm going to add says, sanctify us by thy truth. Thy word is truth. Every strategy that you need for life, for godliness, for career, for business, every strategy that you need as a child of God is from the Bible. If I tell you all this water of exposure, water of relationship, water of consistency, I forgot to mention that, water of consistency, water of prayer, water of service, and I forget the water of the word of God, we are missing a key element. Because you see, the water of the word of God is that water that gets you excited. It's the water that gets you passionate. When the word, the Rhema word comes around your idea, God will make you excited. And that excitement, sit on it. Stay on that word that God has given you. Because when you stay on the word, that is where you bring forth fruit. That is when you abide in the word, that's when you bring forth fruit. John 15 said, abide in me and I also in you. If you abide in me, you will bring forth fruit. John 1:1 said, in the beginning was the word was with God, and God was the word. No one bears fruit without the help of God, without the help of the word of God, without the help of the instruction from God. The water of the word is equally important. Thank you for joining me on our platform. Let me know what your thoughts in the comments and see you in the next video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so that others like you can see this video. Bye.